Joe Vitale here, and very special guest today, my good pal. I talked to him on the phone yesterday for the first time. It's Scott Perunovich. And Scott, for first thing and foremost, for all the fans out there, is it Perunovich?
Yeah, Perunovich.
Perunovich. Okay, is that German?
Yeah. No, Serbian.
Serbian. Okay, so is your dad from Serbia? Grandpa, grandma?
My grandfather is, I believe.
Grandfather.
And maybe my grandma. Yeah, and then they came here, actually.
All right, and you're 21 years old. So you recently just turned 21, or when's your birthday?
August 18th.
August 18th. You're 2 days short. I'm August 20th. So you're a Leo, though.
Yeah, I'm a Leo.
You're in good company. My old teammate, Sidney Crosby, he's a Leo as well.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
87. Yeah, 87.
I'm just going to throw that out there. That I play with. Hey, Scott, you got the flannel on, and you got a goose picture in the background. I know you're from Minnesota. You have to be an outdoorsman.
I am a huge outdoorsman. Yeah, I've been at Side Lake, which is my cabin in northern Minnesota for the past few weeks, and I'm outside every day. And if you saw what I was wearing, you'd be laughing. I got a big hat on, big winter hat. I got big winter gloves. So I've just been working outside.
So Marco Scandella, your future former defenseman, if things go right on his end as well, he was cutting down an old dead tree the other day. Is that kind of what you do? Is that how you stay in shape? You just walk the land and cut down trees and build fires, or what?
That's funny, actually. Yeah, that's exactly what we do. My dad he just got a new chainsaw yesterday because the other two broke because we got some big trees. So we just been cutting trees, loading them up, getting a wood pile, and just kind of having fires. Down by the water, I bought a golf net from Walmart and a little turf to kind of golf off of, just in the rough and the fairway, just kind of stay busy. So yeah, just really doing anything.
Scott, could you build your own fire without like matches or a lighter thing?
Absolutely. No, actually, I was just talking about this. I had a buddy come out here who's an even bigger outdoorsman than I am. And I probably used half a gallon of gas just to get the fire going, and it still wasn't good. So no, I definitely need a lighter and a ton of gasoline.
Because we had that debate one day in the locker room where I said there's no way, not one person in this room can start a fire without a source. And half the team, you believe it or not, half the team was like, I could easily start a fire. Just get some wood and start rubbing it together. I was like, no, absolutely not. It's hard.
No way. No way. You could not do that unless you were in Boy Scouts for years. So you're an outdoorsman. If I gave you 20 days out in the woods, do you think you could survive in 20 days? Actually, a really good question, because I just talked to my dad about this too. My dad could easily do it. He could be in Alaska for months, I think. I think I could. I don't know. I probably 2 days.
2 days?
Oh, 2 days, 3 days without a fire. I can't start a fire without anything. If I had a fire, I'm not a good fisherman. I don't hunt. I'm just a big outdoors guy. So I can't get natural resources like that.
Gotcha. So the wild berries would totally get you. Hey, let's talk a little hockey. Let's talk a little hockey, Scott. First of all, congratulations. Two things, really. I mean, as crazy as this world is right now, you've been keeping very busy. March 27th, you agreed to terms here with the St. Louis Blues. You were a second rounder back in 2018. A great pickup by Kika Chuck. He brags about you all the time. You're apparently his big finding. But you got drafted in 2018. You signed in March 20th. Not signed, but you agreed to terms on March 27th. So that kept you busy. And then 2 days ago, not a big deal, you win the Hobey Baker for the most outstanding college hockey player in the country, rather. So first of all, congratulations, and has all that sunk in yet?
Thank you. It's the Hobey Baker still hasn't really set in yet. It takes a few days for me. Some of the national championships, first one didn't sink in until about a week or two later. So last night, or when it happened, we were at the cabin, and I had my family and friends around us, and just to be able to see their excitement in their faces and, how happy and proud they were was truly special, and I'll remember it forever.
Now, the Hobey Baker how did it go this year? I mean, usually it's a big ceremony. I believe it's in Minneapolis. Was it a phone call? How did you find out that you won this award?
So I didn't fully know until actually the envelope too. So Bucci does a great job with everything college hockey and just kind of getting everything set up. So, you know, I was talking to the other finalists, Swayman and Kawaguchi, and, you know, it was definitely confusing for all of us. No one's ever been through this. So we just kind of stay through it together. And then just when the card, when you read the name, that's kind of when everyone knew. So it was super excited and just, you know, a great time for everyone.
You decided to agree to terms with the St. Louis Blues. You just finished your junior season. You win the Hobey Baker, multiple national championships. Did that lead to your decision? Of course, you're ready to play, but did the fact that you've already accomplished everything in college, including this great award as a Hobey Baker, did that kind of lead to your decision that I think it's maybe time to turn pro?
I guess just my confidence level, kind of just how I felt this year in college hockey compared to last year. I didn't feel as confident after the season last year, just my body wise, and, you know, jumping into the next level. You know, it's a tough league and everyone's fighting for spots. So I didn't feel that I was quite ready to make the leap. So I came back another year with incredible teammates, incredible coaching, and, you know, I definitely think I made the right decision.
What are you going to miss most about college and foregoing your senior year?
The thing I miss most is honestly probably my teammates for sure. My roommates. I live in a house this year. I lived in a house with 7 guys, and, you know, we got super close and made a ton of memories. So I think just the memories and, you know, everything that happens in college is definitely going to be something that I miss.
You know, what you're going to miss, which I missed after I left college, Scott, was the 2 games a week schedule that you do when you're in the university. Are you prepared for the 82 game grind plus playoffs?
I don't know. I've never really played that many games. I guess USHL was the most. I don't even know how many we play there. Maybe it's 12 and 40, maybe 60, but yeah, it's
between
definitely
60 and 70. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a different, you know, completely different mentality between college going from 40 games, you know, to doubling that. So, you know, I'm looking forward to the transition.
What was it like going back to not officially signing yet because of all the kind of craziness going on in the world and whether we're going to have a season or not, but agreeing to terms? So you will be a Blue at some point. You're not going back to school. What was that feeling like when you came to that decision, both sides agreed, and it's really the next step, probably to your ultimate goal, every hockey player's ultimate goal, which is to eventually play in the National Hockey League?
Yeah, I think, you know, when we both came to terms together, it was a great feeling. You know, I actually called Doug Armstrong after, you know, we talked on the phone kind of as a group, and I called him and I said, this is where I want to be. I feel like I'm in good hands with you. And, you know, it was just a good phone call between both of us. And I think both sides are very excited for the future.
We talked to Kika Chuck a couple weeks ago, and he, like I said, just brags about you, and you're his big find. Super proud. One of the things he said that really stuck out when he was talking about your style of play, which I guess it shouldn't surprise me but you do play in college, but he said, Scott doesn't take no crap from nobody, is what he said, quote unquote. Physicality, the roughness to your game. Do you feel that this is going to complement you joining the St. Louis Blues, which their MO can be that physical, grinded out style of hockey?
Yeah, I like to think that, you know, I'm not going to be the guy that gets kind of pushed around out there. And I remember early in the year, I got cheap shotted and I took a retaliatory penalty when Keith was there, and I talked to him after the game, and I was like, and I told him it was a stupid penalty, and he said he loved it. He said, stick up for yourself. So having him tell me that just made me kind of, you know, always want to stick up for myself even more. So that's how he was, and that's how I want to be.
Well, lesson number 1, don't ever apologize to Kika Chuck for taking a penalty. I'm sure you learned that the hard way then.
Yeah, I did for sure.
Another big name, Brett Hall. I don't know if you saw on Instagram or Twitter, but the St. Louis Blues put out a video of Brett Hall welcoming you to the organization. Again, a lot of moments just being thrown at you very shortly, but that's a Hall of Famer and a St. Louis idol. I mean, he just embodies St. Louis Blues hockey. What is that like to have someone of that stature just want to welcome you with so much excitement to come to St. Louis?
It's amazing. I would have never thought of any of this. But my grandma was actually out here, and she was just replaying his video over and over again. I don't know if her hearing's not good enough and she can't hear it the first time, or if she's just that excited. So, but yeah, everyone's excited, and my family appreciates him reaching out and sending those videos too, along with everyone else.
Scott, who do you, I guess, try to mimic your game after? Is there someone in the NHL right now? Because for Blues fans and for anyone who's never seen you play before, I'm not going to make you brag about yourself, but, is there someone you try to copy your game after?
I think growing up within the last few years, kind of in my, my early years in college hockey, is a Torrey Krug type of guy. Recently, though, it's been one of my good friends, Quinn Hughes, that I definitely try and watch and focus on when I'm watching games, or like when they were playing during the year. He's a good friend, and I think he's a good person to try and mimic your game after too. So I try and reach out for him for tips as much as I can.
And you have some tight already ties here with the Blues. Justin Falk, a former UMD Bulldog as well. Is there anyone else that on this team? Has anyone's reached out, welcome you to the organization?
Yeah, Jaden Schwartz reached out. We have mutual friend with Antisenzo, who's always in St. Louis too, so I'm sure he put us in touch. But just a few other guys too. But it's just nice having these guys reach out to you when they don't have to at all. They're just doing that out of the kindness of their heart. So,
Scott, who is kind of a generic question, but I guess up to this point in your life, who has had the biggest impact on your life?
My dad has probably had the biggest impact for sure. Just growing up, I've always been a daddy's boy, so I'd wait for him to get home from work to go, play ping pong in the garage or go play catch outside. So, he was tired after a long day, but he would always find a little bit extra energy to play with me outside growing up. So I owe a lot to him.
You said he could survive in the Alaska wilderness for like 2 months. Is there anything throughout this quarantine of being together up in the woods? Is there anything you would like to learn from your dad in the next 2-3 weeks?
I don't know. If you knew my dad, all my friends, everyone around here knows my dad. He doesn't get cold. It'll be 20 degrees out. He'll be outside in shorts and no shirt. I'm trying to think. He's just really good with anything, like outside or inside. So he was teaching me. Actually, yesterday he taught me how to sharpen the blades of a chainsaw. So I was using a little machine to sharpen the blades of that. I haven't used the chainsaw yet. He doesn't want me using it. He just got a big one. But basically, I just follow him around outside and just watch to see what he does and learn a few things.
Sharpen that saw. It was Abraham Lincoln, Scott. I'm sure you knew about this from college, but he said if I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, he'd spend the first 5 sharpening it. So there you go.
Yeah, for sure. So he teaches me stuff all the time. So it's great to have him out here.
So you were paying attention in history class. Scott, the last thing I have for you, I was sitting around. I realized that I got to do this interview with you today. I'm with my kids. I have 4. I'm doing this homeschooling thing, which is crazy. I told them I was talking to the new Blue, and they were like, what are you going to ask them? I said, I don't know. What should I ask them? So they started just throwing out questions at me. So if you don't mind, I'm going to give you some of the questions.
Right. Yeah, let's see what they got.
Want to ask you. First one, simple. Favorite color of the rainbow, Scott?
Blue.
Blue. I like it.
Is that part of the rainbow? Yeah, for sure.
No? Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue. Yeah, blue, ivory, and violet. Yeah, blue. You're good to go. Roy G. Biv. Okay, favorite cereal?
Cocoa Pebbles.
Cocoa Pebbles. What kind of milk?
Just normal 2%. Fairlife. 2%. Yeah.
Got to slurp the milk down too, don't you?
Yeah.
You have a pet dragon. What would you name it? This is from my son.
Ooh. Maybe Puck. Puck. My brother has a black dog, and he named it Milo, and I wanted to try and switch it up to Puck. So probably Puck.
I like that. Sounds good. You gotta be careful how you say that, but that's a good name.
Yeah.
From my daughter, do you have a girlfriend?
I do.
You do? Nice.
I do.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
Scott, what makes you happy?
Being outside, being outdoors, being at my cabin. My cabin's probably my favorite place to be in the entire world. So it's tough to get me to leave here once I'm out here. So.
Plus with your girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, she was up here. She went home for Easter, but for sure, my girlfriend.
Sure.
Too, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I just want to make that clear. Scott, if you had a garden, what's the one vegetable you would have to have in your garden?
Asparagus, I think. Is that a vegetable? Nice. Yeah, I'm a big asparagus guy. Asparagus, broccoli.
It's nice too because it's starting to kind of come around in the next few weeks. It's typically a spring vegetable, so you have it early.
Yeah, but I'm a pretty good cook now, so that's one of my main ingredients all the time.
Asparagus, lots of iron in asparagus. Scott, last thing I have for you, we really appreciate your time. A lot of Blues fans and a lot of people around the National Hockey League are excited to see you. Do you have any final message to all the Blues fans out there watching?
I guess one thing is I see, a lot of these fans are reaching out and sending kind words. And, it means a lot, and I appreciate it a ton. It's tough to get back to everyone, but it means a lot to me.
Well, that's Scott Perunovich, 2018 second rounder, just agreed to terms with the St. Louis Blues, and he is the Hobey Baker winner as the best college hockey player in the country. Scott, thanks so much for your time. I'm really looking forward to meeting you in person. Enjoy the woods, enjoy the cold, and learn something from your father.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Have a good one, guys.